All right, guys, welcome back to Cody's Movie Cave, where today we shall be discussing Star Trek. That's right, we're going to be discussing Star Trek, but instead of discussing the new trilogy, or was it a trilogy? Or was it? Yeah, it was a trilogy. It was three of them. Instead of discussing the Chris Pine movies, who are in their own right very good, or the series, we're going to go back to the old William Shatner, that is, movies. And there were several of them that were decent, and then there were some of them that just plain up crappy sucked, especially the ones with the whales in San Francisco. That one was, what was that, Undiscovered Country or something like that? I forget which one it was numerically in the series, but it was crap. And so, yeah. But my personal favorite, it's not the first one, the Star Trek motion picture. And most of the time, people tend to like the first movie of any movie franchise. But for me, this didn't work. It felt like just another episode of the show. For me, the true blue Star Trek movie that was the king pretty much of them all, and I don't know, I may get a lot of hate on this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you anyway, is Star Trek Wrath of Khan. I know, a lot of you probably don't like it, or a lot of you are like, well, that's totally a cliche answer for a nerd like you to say, but it's the truth. Star Trek 2, it's the second one, the sequel, Wrath of Kahn. Yep, that's it, right there, Wrath of Kahn. Just come out on a new edition of 4K and Blu-ray. Picked it up. It's the 40th anniversary. So, yeah, pretty big deal. It's 40 years. It includes a director and theatrical cut. Look, I can't wait. I haven't watched it yet. I've only ever seen the theatrical cut. So, for me, it'll be a new deal for me to check out the director's cut. Really excited about that. So, yeah, the basic story is they're, in space as usual on routine training maneuvers. Admiral James T. Kirk seems to resign that he is maybe the last space mission of his career, so he's kind of seeing he's in the twilight of it, as you will, and thinking whether or not he should retire or keep sitting in the captain's chair. But an adversary from the past has returned with a vengeance. Aided by his exiled band of genetic supermen, Kahn, brilliant renegade of the 20th century Earth, has raided Space Station Regular 1. And so, yeah, a lot of people don't know that Kahn had showed up before Star Trek 2. He had showed up before Wrath of Khan. He was in the series. Yeah, that's right. Ricardo Montalban himself had been in the series with William Shatner before. So this is really his second appearance. But man, oh man, does he do a great job. He is by far got to be, one of the best villains, especially in science fiction, out there. And here's why it is. He is over the top, man. Ricardo Montalban is up here level, And that's not saying his acting's great. That's just saying he is over the top, right? And so it works with this type of movie. And yeah, things happen. We wind up getting the whole scene where, I won't spoil it for you if you hadn't seen it, but we do get the one where, the famous line where William Shatner goes, Kahn! And what's interestingly enough is the new movies, the sort of the reboot slash, I don't know if you call them legacy sequels or what, prequel slash reboot. It gets convoluted, I'm telling you. But the ones with Chris Pine, the second one in his movie, actually tries to recreate the whole thing right here, the whole Kahn story. Benedict Cumberbatch does an amazing job. The two guys that's played Kahn in this whole entire franchise are great. Both of them, over the top, great. Kahn is an excellent villain. William Shatner is William Shatner, okay? I mean, he does a good job, though, in this movie. I think he does a good job, okay? I will give him that. You got Leonard Nimoy back as Spock, and You got all the regulars, Uhura, you got Scotty, you got the Doctor, McCoy, Bones, you know. Dang it, Jim, I'm a doctor. I won't say the curse word because, you know, for younger viewers. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's a good movie. You know, the tag, Kahn winds up and is the one that sort of coins the whole phrase, revenge is a dish best served cold, cook. Anyway, so yeah. The director's cut is 116 minutes. The theatrical version is 113 minutes, so there's not going to be a lot of footage is what that tells me. Maybe a couple minutes here and there thrown in, so maybe I'm not, excuse me, there may be not a lot of different material from the director versus theatrical cut. But, you know, if you're a Star Trek fan, I definitely recommend going and getting the 40th anniversary copy of Wrath of Khan. It's got a cool box cover, cool box art, you know. It's almost cartoony in looks. It's got that whole 70s to 80s style art, like drawn on type poster, so that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, Wrath of Khan is pretty decent. You know, it establishes a lot of new things for our dear Captain Kirk. You know, he comes to the realization that, and if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert, okay? Spoiler! If you haven't watched it, Kirk winds up and realizes he's a father. He's got a grown son that he did not know anything about. And so there's that whole dynamic, the family dynamic with Kirk. And so, very interesting, very cool. Spock is on point as usual. Get it? Point. No pun intended. Anyway, he does a great job. Leonard Nimoy as Spock, that's his role. And so is, you know, William Shatner to Kirk. This is their roles they made careers on. And so, yeah, like I said, Khan's a great villain. He's a great adversary for our intrepid space explorers aboard the Starship Enterprise. And so, yeah, did you boldly go see or watch Wrath of Khan? If you hadn't, try it, you know. Like I said, though, young viewers, beware. This is the whole 70s, 80s, you know, right in there in that time period of cheesiness, of campiness. The effects are, for the time, state of the art. But now, you know, you're going to wind up liking the Chris Pine movies better. But trust me, for us older, nostalgic nerds, Wrath of Khan is a classic. You know, it's just a good